Hey Booktube! My name is the Book Mage and today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on Rainbow Rowell's Wayward Son. So this book is the long-awaited sequel to Carry On, and I'm going to assume if you're here watching this video that you have at least read Carry On. This is not going to be a structured or pre-planned review. I'm just basically going to talk about what I felt about this book, and so I anticipate that there will perhaps be spoilers, but at this point I can't really say, but you've been warned. So of course we pick up after the final events of the last book. Simon has lost his powers, everyone's living together in a flat share. It's kind of it has a very typical YA contemporary setting. And then for multiple reasons the trio decide that they're going to go on a road trip across America. There's a lot going on at the start. I kind of wasn't really sure what to expect from this book. I knew that we were getting some sort of American road trip and I expected to see more of the characters, and we did definitely get all of those things. So I enjoyed it. I feel like this was an enjoyable book. And the font inside this book is pretty big as well, so I read this in just under a day. I started it on the Saturday night and I finished it on the Sunday morning, which is actually one of the things that I really like about these books, because I always forget how short they are and how quick they are. And I do definitely still really love the characters. I was just really, I don't know, I guess nostalgic. It hasn't been that long since I first read Carry On, but I really did enjoy the characters, Baz especially. So I was really glad to get to see everyone again, and yeah, I was pretty much on board for anything. That said, I'm gonna preface my review by saying that I did only give this book 3 out of 5 stars. I don't know why I say only, that's a decent rating. That means that I did enjoy this book. I just didn't really think it was anything special or fantastic. I think it's the same rating that I gave the first book, but I will say I do prefer Carry On a lot more than Wayward Son. I don't know whether it's just because I do like the British magic school setting a lot better than the American road trip thing. I definitely was enjoying this book. It was a pure vampire novel. This whole thing just devolves into vampire storylines, and I really liked that, because guess who likes vampires? So yeah, I liked the direction of this book and I liked the story, but I don't know, I feel I expected more from the characters and character growth. So all of Carry On, it was sort of a will they won't they sort of getting together story for Simon and Baz, and then in this one the beginning sets it up to be a will they won't they break up, but it doesn't. It comes back up a couple of times, but not very much, and it's kind of hard to get a read on their relationship. Are they still trying to figure each other out, or are they still breaking up, or because neither of them want to break up. I feel it was almost an issue that didn't need to be there. I don't know. I think I would have liked more with their relationship that wasn't all of the issues. Obviously some issues, there has to be something to overcome, but I guess I didn't really enjoy the execution of it. I just kind of wish that there had been more interaction between them, because the bits that we got were really cute. I would have liked to see more of that. I did actually enjoy Penny's small character arc. She kind of came to this realization of, she's at this pivot point between she knows that she's smart and she knows that she's capable, so she's always going to listen to herself, and that's quite an empowering thing. And I was yes girl, yes. There's this quote in here somewhere and I'm not going to find it, but it's something she knows that she's pretty much always right, so why would she waste her time always saying, oh, what do you think, and what do you think, and looking for support and validation from other people. She's just gonna go ahead and do what she thinks is right for herself, and that's just been her whole thing. So I really like that part about her, but that's also part of the drama with her character about she's so headstrong that she's actually she's too direct, and she doesn't consult other people when she really should. And so I did like her development. I did really the best, honestly, the best scene in this whole thing was the bit where Agatha and Penny are in the car, and they just have this moment of we're doing this, and that definitely hit me right in the feelings. I really enjoyed that bit. I think I'm predisposed to the bits where girls are being badass, fight me. But I think my main issue with this book is just, I feel the ending was a complete cop-out. And hear me out on this, it literally ended mid-scene. I was I didn't expect it to end. It was complete mid-scene, mid-sentence cutaway, and it was I know this is almost meant to be based on a fanfiction, because it is a fanfiction in the novel fanfiction, fangirl, whatever it's called, but believe me when I say it's such an annoying thing that fanfiction writers do, where they'll have one random sentence as a cliffhanger at the end of the chapter. My Immortal, the worst fanfiction ever, did it all the time, and that's the vibes I got. Let me just bloom and find it. Okay, look, Simon and Baz are having a relationship conversation, and it's quite nice. You know, things are pretty much settling down and you're kind of waiting for the story to wrap up, but the way that it wraps up was just so Like, it was just so immediate and jarring, and I really hated it. And basically Penny runs in and says, Baz, there's trouble at Watford, we have to go home now. And then the book just ends. And I was like, honestly, if Rainbow Rowell wants to write like a whole series of these books, like, I'll read like 10 of them. I'll read like 20 of them. Like, I like the characters, they're really short. Like, I'm invested in this series, I really enjoy it. But like, I really wish that the book would have just had the decency to have like a proper ending instead of being so like sequel baity. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it almost makes me feel like I have half a book or like an unfinished book. I'm like, where was the actual ending? Don't stop mid-conversation with like this promise of like, oh yeah, something is going wrong and it's going to be in the next book. Like, I don't like that. I don't, seriously, it's a thing that like fan fictions used to do all the time back in the day, and I hated it then and I hate it now. And I don't know if it was meant to be like a purposeful nod to like the fanfiction type genre again because of like how this series got started out, but like honestly, just don't. I remember like reading that and just being like really disappointed in the ending, and like the rest of the book had been okay up till that point. I'm such an idiot, I don't know why I'm holding up this copy because this is the copy that I annotated. I could be doing a much better review right now. So yeah, I did annotate this copy. I don't know whether I should just like look through and maybe find any notable examples. I will say the colour that I used the most of in here was green, so it was like a humorous book. I did smile a lot while reading this. Honestly, most of these stickers are just for like Baz's inner monologue at his like sheer confusion and dislike of most of American culture and like the constant sun and the heat, and like, Baz, I feel you. Like, reading a lot of like the hatred of sunlight thing was just, I mean, I am also too pale for the sun, so like there was a lot of humour to be had in there for me. So like I definitely did like this novel, and I am really excited for the next one. Like, I like this series by Rainbow Rowell. I don't think I'll read any of her other works just because contemporary is not my thing, but as long as you sprinkle in like enough fantasy, because this is basically contemporary with like a little bit of fantasy sprinkled on top, and like it's enough. I like them. I can read these in about a day, and I like the characters, and like I do like the whole uniqueness of the, it's like words of power but dependent on the non-magical people's like understanding and use of said words of power. And I said this last time, it makes me wonder like how powerful are like meme phrases? Like, I have to know. I feel like the spells I would cast most would be like big mood and oh, that was the thing. It was there was a scene where Baz is trying to tell somebody to like, he's trying to like blast them back with his wand, and the English phrases he used doesn't work, and he ends up using like, I think it's buzz off, but I'm like, honestly, please, in the next book, can we get a spell that's just yeet? Like, I would have really loved to see Baz like yeet another vampire and clear across the room. Like, you have to be creative with the spells. Like, that's the spell that I would use. I think some of the things I didn't like in here that were just like there to cause like a forced issue were Baz not wanting to use his credit card because like they were in serious trouble and he just didn't want his parents to know that he was out in America. And it's like, look, you're in basically life and death situations every day since you've been here, use the goddamn credit card. And like, I really wasn't a fan of the whole like, I guess Simon being jealous and thinking that like Baz and the other vampire were like flirting or like having a thing or whatever. Like, there's a thing where he sees them and he's like, he thinks he knows what he's seen, and so like he's not even willing to discuss it. And I'm like, this is such an annoying like trope sort of like cliche issue thing that always happens in like contemporary romance, which is like one of the reasons that I don't really read contemporary romance, is the whole thing about like one person thinks the other person is cheating because they misunderstood something that was going on in front of them. And I just wasn't really a fan. I feel like there are other ways to create like drama, especially when you have wizards. Like, give me wizard drama, please. But yeah, I feel like this was an okay sequel. I just didn't like it as much as book one. And I feel like obviously it set itself up for a third book, so just given the way that this one ended, I'm pretty sure obviously we're going to be back at Watford again, which I guess that's going to be good because we're going back to that setting again. But I just feel like there's so much more that you could do with this. It's like the characters have all these issues but they never really talk them out, and sometimes you'll get like little steps forward in like their inner monologue and everything, like Baz with his vampirism and the way that Simon feels about like his powers and his wings and all that. And I just feel like we could have so much more like interesting character development if like they actually talked about it and there were like actual like underlying plot lines to do with like those like, I guess, like interpersonal issues and like characters' own individual like issues and growth and whatnot. And I just feel like it was kind of like a missed opportunity because like obviously we had all the vampire stuff and Baz did have like parts of him like learning more about vampires and all this sort of stuff, but I just feel like if there'd been more conversations about him opening up with either Penny or Simon, then it's like we could have had more character growth and more of like an insight into him rather than just like through his monologue. Because it's fine like us knowing, but like I want to see how other people react. I want to see like the friendship group drama. Like, that's what I'm here for. Just give me the vampire drama. So yeah, I guess in short, I liked it. I thought it was okay. I feel like it could have done more. I think that because obviously like there's already advertisements for the third book and it says coming soon, and I just really get a vibe from the way that this ended that rather than like continuing to write the story and making this a longer book, it was decided to just like just chop it off in the middle. Just doesn't matter where, just chop it off and then like have like all of that resolved in like a third book. So I feel like even though we don't even have book 3 yet, I feel like this has middle book syndrome already. It just does. Even if it weren't for the ending, like I still would have only rated it a 3 stars. But like I just feel with the sequel being announced so soon and just the super sudden way that it ended, I'm like, this is just, it's just pure sequel bait. Like, you could have just like a paragraph more, just to like properly end the book and not leave me with like whiplash being like, oh, that's the last page. Anyway, those were basically my thoughts on Wayward Son by Rainbow Rowell. Like, I do like it, and I do have a couple editions of this which you'll probably see in a future haul, and I have recommended this series to several people that I know would like it, so like I definitely am on board with this. And like she could say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a 20 book series, and I'd be like, yeah, sure, roll them out, I'll take them. Just as long as they don't end so abruptly in the middle of a scene. Like, it's like being at a restaurant and like you're still eating your dessert and then the waiter comes and like takes it away as you're like still trying to get food off the plate. It's like, just don't do this to me. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I did like it, but I can't really give it higher than a 3 stars. I kind of want to know if anybody agrees with me. Like, I will say I thought there were like a lot of really like sweet scenes in here between Simon and Baz. I just kind of wish there would be more. Like, I have seen like a few other people like online on like Instagram and Twitter and all sorts saying things like the book broke them or destroyed them or like it ripped out their heart or like they were crying at the last page, and I'm like, how? Did we read the same book? Or like maybe my copy just ends too abruptly and like I'm missing another chapter, because that's what it feels like. Obviously different things make different people emotional, but like I'm genuinely confused as to like what part of the ending like had that impact. I am known for being like a heartless, soulless bitch, so like feel free to call me out in the comments below if I'm just genuinely missing it, but like I don't see it. So yeah, liked it, but thought it could have been better. I'm up for the sequel. Like, I'm excited for the sequel. I can't deny it. Like, I can be critical about the books, but like I am also kind of trash for it. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you made it this far in the video, let me know who your favourite character is in this series. Pretty sure mine is Baz. Like, I can't not favourite the broody vampire boy. Like, I can't do it. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye!